Hello, my name is Michelle O'Quinn, and I'm the job developer for Scare. And this is my presentation of the power of networking. So today our agenda is to define networking. Why is networking important? Your image and how to network. Let me move myself over. Um, so my name is Michelle O'Quinn. I'm the job developer for Scare. Just a little bit about myself. I was a supervisor for close to 20 years. I was a program director for 10 years. I watched over 3 facilities. I had over 180 employees, most of which those employees I hired. When I help others with their job readiness, I help them to achieve the things that I was looking for or the characteristics and an employee that I was looking for when I would hire. So part of my job is to provide participants with job readiness, resume assistance. I provide job leads, and then also I offer a mock interview. So with job readiness, we're looking at personal time management. Job listings sometimes will say what hours they're looking to fill in the job position. Sometimes they don't. So in your application, they will ask you to write down your availability. And what they're looking for is a real availability, not availability like I wake up at 8 and I'm available from 8 to this time, because really you're not. You still need time to get ready for work. If you have children, you need to drop them off wherever that may be, if that's daycare or to their school. Also, we're looking at transportation. You know, how long will it get you to go from point A to point B, which might be dropping off children, and then to point C, which is your job, and then how long all that takes. And then after that, that's your availability. So you have to look at your real availability, your pre-planning for work, and then transportation time. If you're driving, if you're taking an Uber, or if you're taking the metro, public transportation. So those things need to be taken into account when you want to speak to an employer about your availability, because they want to know your real availability. Sometimes we might have to update participants' emails because one thing that we look at as employers is the email. And so you might think that your email is appropriate, and it might be very inappropriate and cost you a job. We try to keep your email to maybe your first initial and your last name, or your last name with your first initial, a period or an underscore in between. We try to stay away from birth dates and birth years, inappropriate numbers, and because we do look at those things as well. And then also we will update the digital footprint with our participants. Your digital footprint is the pictures, pictures and things that you've written online that you may not be aware are out there. So a lot of times I have participants Google themselves and to see what is out there and what employers can see when they decide to Google you. And yes, we do Google you. We look for you on Facebook. We look for you on Instagram. We look for you on all social media platforms, because we want to know who are we inviting into our environment. Because your work environment, if you are working full time, you are at that job 9 hours out of a 24-hour day. So resume assistance. Resume assistance, we have the chronological resume. That's listing your work history from the most recent to your first job. So of course, the first job listed on your chronological resume will say, from whatever year to present. And then you'll list the job that you had before that, and then the job before that. A functional resume highlights your skills related to your desired career. So not everyone, it's not unusual for an individual to have several jobs in different industries. So a functional resume may be that you're looking for a cashier job, so you leave out all the construction work, experience that you have, because construction has nothing to do with cashiering. So you'll list only your cashier jobs that you had. A combination resume will be a resume that may be in chronological order, but then also highlighting jobs that are geared towards the desired career path that you want to go on. A targeted resume is that you create that resume for that particular job. So you read the job posting, you see what they want, and then you just make your resume according to what that particular job wants. A mock interview. So with the mock interview, it's coaching on your appearance. Are you dressed professionally? Is your hair done in a professional way? Your verbal communication, are we using complete sentences? And your body language. And so we point things out within the mock interview that of what you could have done. We offer a one-on-one interview where I will interview you myself. Also, we have a panel interview. Some places do have panel interviews. For example, like Head Start, you would need to sit in front of a panel for an interview. You'll have like a one-on-one interview, and then the next interview is a panel of site supervisors that will implement an interview. After the mock interview, we offer feedback, an opportunity for you to try again. And this only helps you for your interview. I can say that for me, I had been with the same company for 20 years. So over 20 years, wow. Anyways, so when it came to interviewing, when I was looking for another job, the first interview I had, I bombed it because I've always been on the side of the desk where I'm asking all the questions, and I know what I'm looking for, and I'm waiting to see if the person that I'm interviewing can give me what I want, and then I'll offer them a job. But it's really different when you're on the other side of the table and you're nervous and you don't know like what they're judging you on and what exactly they're looking for. You're just, trying to make it through the interview. But I bombed really, really bad. And so that's to say, we all have bad days, but it's okay. I got another job. But if you need a mock interview, you can always come to Scare to get your mock. So what is networking? I just seem to be in the way. So what is networking? Networking's definition is the exchange of information and services among individuals, groups, and institutions. And a lot of times when we think of networking, this is what we think of, like, everyone passing around their business card and saying what their position is and, contact me, that type of thing. But this is not always what networking looks like. Sometimes networking looks like this. Um, Discussing your shared interest at a family gathering. You know, just talking amongst, family or people who are close to you like family, um, discussing your shared interests. Your shared interests can be children. It can be community activism. It can be a plethora of things. And you discuss this, and then somebody has a friend who has a friend who's looking for, someone to take a position that maybe you might be perfect for. That they say, oh yeah, you should try to, apply for this job. Also, networking can be discovering resources at a community fair. Not necessarily that they're hiring for that fair, but you can certainly pick up the resources, and that might be a connection to something else. And that's what networking is. It's about making connections. And when you make these connections here, there, and everywhere, all those connections become like opportunities. And later on in my presentation, we'll go over all those opportunities, but just getting to know different people, getting to know different organizations. Um, you may be someone who does gig work, and you work backstage, but you go to this community event and like, no, they're not hiring, but hey, they know another organization that might need someone to work backstage. So it's just like, just being involved in the community, knowing what's going on, and just discovering more resources, attending professional events, especially if it's around a profession that you're in. So it could be a social work event, or a workshop. Um, that's a great way to meet other people that are in your same field. Um, and then another thing to recognize is that just because, for example, it's a hotel, just because you work the front desk at a hotel, that doesn't mean that you're limited to just working in the front desk in a hotel. There are many positions within a hotel. There are, other than reception, there's the host, there's the kitchen, there's the staff that break down and set up the rooms, there's the valet, there's, all those positions that are behind the scenes. So when we're networking, like, you may get to learn about a position that you didn't know existed. So just making all those connections and opportunities for yourself. Also connecting with other professionals with the same interests on your social media platforms. So we all know, well, no, some of us know, that there are groups on Facebook that you can join and share information. So for me, because I homeschool my children, I'm part of a homeschool group. So we talk about different outings that are going on with the homeschool moms, different opportunities. Sometimes, the homeschool moms will get together and pitch in money so that they could have like someone come to the park and do like a little zoo, and they'll bring like snakes and all different kind of animals or whatever, just so that their children can have those opportunities. And there's several groups. There's groups for preschool teachers, there's groups for construction workers, there's groups for truck drivers. I know that because my husband's a truck driver and he's part of a group on Facebook. So there's plenty of opportunities, especially now with social media platforms, where you can engage with other people in your same profession. And then just a fun little fact. Oh, let me move myself. Um, just a fun little fact that 85% of jobs are found through friends and associates. So I've personally seen this done where you have a friend who gets you, or sorry, who gets your foot in the door and personally hands over your resume. They're able to coach you through the interview questions that they know are going to be asked at the interview. When you come into the job place, they personally coach you into, like, this is how you do this is how you do that, to help them further climb the ladder in the company. So it's just like, if you 85% of jobs are found through friends and associates. Also, those friends and associates can help you boost your career and not only get your foot in the door, but they can coach you into obtaining higher positions within the company, because they already know the company. They know what the company is looking for, and they can coach you into being what the company is looking for if you choose to climb the ladder. If climbing the ladder is what you want. You have a better opportunity learning it from a friend than you would from anyone else, especially if you have a friend in the company. And then here we go with your image. So, uh-oh. Okay, so let me move myself. Okay, so your image. So you portray your image through email communication, through verbal communication over the phone, by tagging where you're at, your location, things that you follow on your social media. So these are some of the things that you're going to want to check before you start really getting into looking for a job in networking. So you want to check your social media platforms. You want to check your Facebook, your Twitter, and your Instagram. Also, Google Photos if you have some that are public and shared. I'm not sure about Dropbox and Flickr, but I'm sure if someone's able to access them, oh yeah, because some people publish their photos, so you might want to check those out. I say that because you have like pictures. If there's pictures of you doing things that are inappropriate, the pictures speak 1,000 words, and you don't have to say anything. Also checking your YouTube. So this was interesting. So I had worked with a participant, and I was like, okay, so now we're going to Google ourselves. And so we went on, we just did like a soft search on Facebook for ourselves, like logging out of our Facebook on our phone and then searching for ourselves on Facebook, seeing what pictures were public and then what pictures were private, what pictures were we tagged in. And then also too, like I had them go on YouTube and put their name in. So sometimes there are videos of you and you don't even know. So I had a participant and there was a video posted of her when she was younger, and she didn't even know that there was a video of her on YouTube. Also too, if you don't have your playlists for YouTube private, people have access to those videos as well. So if you have a playlist of things that are inappropriate, you want to make sure that those things are private. My playlists are chicken foods. Anyways, so, and then community blogs. So I remember back in the day, like blogs were pretty big. Like everybody had a blog, mom blogs and things of that sort. So if you had a blog, it might still be up somewhere, although you no longer have access to, like if you got like a GoDaddy website for your blog, it could still be up there, but just in a funky format. So I would say to Google yourself. Negative digital imprint. A negative digital imprint can be quite embarrassing. So inappropriate photographs or information about you. Also like photos that you're tagged in. So one thing on my Facebook is that like I have to review anything that's posted on my timeline. Um, Even if I'm tagged in it, like it won't post to my timeline because I have it set to where I have to approve it first. Um, Other things are photos of you drinking, using drugs or supporting drug use, cannabis shirts, cannabis socks, things like that. Those can be a negative digital imprint according to what type of employment you're looking for. Of course, if you're um, some jobs, according to their own policies, may not mind, but most jobs do. So you need to check to make sure that those things are not posted on your social media. Negative comments about people. And it's because employers, we understand that the job, we're here all day long, and we don't want negativity in the workplace. We want the workplace to be a safe place. And you need the workplace to be a safe place because we need to be free to express our ideas. We need to be free to share and to work together. And if there's all this tension with employees, then it's really hard to get people to work together when they're fighting, or when they're annoyed with each other. So it's just we don't want to invite someone that we know is going to make negative comments about other people on their Facebook or on their other social media outlets. Because if they're doing it on their outlet, then that just shows us that they're just going to cause a fire within the workplace. Another thing on social media platforms is poor written communication. So if there is a lot of misspellings, um, poorly written captions, um, poorly written descriptions about your feelings or emotions, we look at that because some jobs will require that you exhibit some written communication. Um, Also discriminatory comments related to race, religion, and gender. And again, it's about keeping a peaceful workplace, a peaceful work environment, because we're here together all day long. So we want to make sure that, that the workplace is a safe place. So a positive digital imprint, um, it shows your personality fits with the current company culture, because every company has its own culture. Some companies are really laid back. Everyone's just chill, and that's just the way it is. Other companies may be really like, put your nose to the grinding stone and no one looks up and you just grind, grind, grind until you're off. And then it's, whew, we did it, high five. Just every company has its own culture. Your background information supports the professional qualifications of the job. So we might see that you volunteered with different organizations that mirror the company that you're trying to get a job with. Your friends list mirror your professional network. So here it is, like that whole networking thing. That person may not be, your closest friend, but they are a friend on your social media. So an employer might look at that and say, oh my gosh, you're friends with so and so. Okay, yeah, I'm going to give this person a chance. Your public interests are well rounded, and you demonstrate consistently great communication skills. I won't try to do that right now. But yeah, so we look at your written skills, and like if you post videos, how those come out, and just look at you as a person as a whole. Because again, like the workplace, we're here all day. We want to make sure that it's peaceful and that the people that we bring into our environment are going to be a good fit for that environment. Oh, look, here I am. Okay, so networking and your career development. So networking can help you meet new people of different levels in your career field, can provide opportunities for you to share your ideas, and ultimately boost your professional confidence, um, and contribute to your social well-being. And I say this when I say ultimately boosting your professional confidence. It's because, like, I mean, how many times have you been somewhere and someone is constantly name dropping? Well, I know so and so, and I know so and so, and so and so, and so and so. And so it's just like, not to say name dropping is the way to go, but it does definitely boost your professional confidence. All right, to meet new people of different levels in your field. So it exposes you to a wider variety of job opportunities. So if someone is sitting at the top, just know that there's several layers at the bottom. So the higher up, the more jobs that they know are available in different areas of the company. So just like I was saying, like just because you work the front desk of a company, um, there are other jobs behind the scenes that you may not know even exist. And knowing people of different levels in a job and in different departments, you get to know more opportunities that are in the same company. Um, Knowing people at different levels creates connections to get your foot in the door. And there are some jobs where you need to know someone in order to get that job. And then offers opportunity for mentorship and career development. And this is what I was saying about having a friend who works in the same field, especially if they're in a higher level than you, then they know what they're looking for. They know what the job details and what the job description, what the job wants from you and wants from the as an employee. So it's just like when you have someone who's going to be a mentor to you, they can prepare you for greater job opportunities, as they bring you into the door. Sharing ideas. So you hear about creative ideas that are implemented at different jobs or at different companies. And so you might hear about, a different way that they have their email set up, or you might hear a different way about how they do um, virtual working, working from home. Um, you might hear just different ideas from here and there, and that you feel could make the company where you work better. Also you're just sharing ideas like with your boss, and you're just like, hey, I think we can grow this way. Or I think the market that we're in is shifting in this direction, and I think we're a little behind, you know. So it's just like you get to hear other ideas that are being done with other organizations, And then when you have an idea, you can share your ideas with other people and get a different perspective. Because sometimes when we're excited about something, or, we came up with this grand, idea, and then we just kind of need to bounce it off someone. And not necessarily can you bounce it off of your friend, especially if they're not in that they know nothing about your job. They don't know anything about the field that you're in, other than they care about you and they love you as a friend. But having networks in your profession allows you to bounce those ideas off of people, and they can give you a different perspective of how they see it, or if it's a great idea, or maybe that idea needs to be thought through a little bit more. um, you can make connections outside of your company, um, is also a valuable asset as well. Two, how to network if you're a shy person. So if you're a shy person, just start small. Um, you don't have to go to these grandiose events and things like that. Just start really small. Um, and I mean, as long as you know that you're shy, that's kind of like half the battle, and just knowing, knowing your strengths and your weaknesses when you're ready to speak to someone. Or a lot of times people will, if they see you standing off to the side, a lot of extroverts will come and they'll talk to you anyway. And so just focus on your shared interest, and a lot of times the conversation just flows from there. But just start small, and half the battle is just showing up to the networking event itself. Have your cards with you, or be ready to share your number, or I think now what people are doing is follow me on Instagram, um, and bring a friend. Bringing a friend is helpful because it's like you're already engaged in a conversation. So when you're at a networking event and you're kind of off to the side and you're not talking to anyone, um, it can be kind of off-putting until that one um, extrovert says, "I'm just going to go see what she's all about." And then they come up to you and they start talking to you. But like if you have a friend with you and you're already engaged in a conversation, you appear approachable for other people, that you're friendly and that you're kind and that you're approachable because you're already engaged in a conversation. Um, and again, like I said, just focus on your shared interests and then repeat. Again, just start small. Bring that friend until you no longer need to bring a friend. You kind of feel comfortable with yourself. And then just focus on the shared interest. And uh, one, make sure that when you're starting small and you go to an event, it's an event focused on your interest. So that you can talk about your shared interest. I need to move myself again. Network like a pro. Um, Choose who you develop relationships with. Um, and offer opportunities to network. So it's, don't just attend, the networking events, but also have some events in mind that you can share with other people. So it's just people appreciate that that communication, and so like you'll get some um, reciprocity, where people will, you'll share like, oh, there's an event on such and such day, and and then they'll say, oh, I know of an event too. So it's just like you're sharing information with each other about different events, and that builds stronger connections because they know that you're serious about this particular field and that you go to all these events, and they'll take you more seriously because you take this particular career path seriously. Also network everywhere. And it's not necessarily networking because you want something from them, but it's just like networking to make more connections, because you could be networking and making connections for someone that you know. You know, you could be the connection for someone else. So it's just like constantly making those connections and being helpful to other people as well as yourself. And then also to watch your body language. 'Cause body language is a language as well. Um, so, you know, making sure that you're standing up straight, that you're not slouching, you're not doing like this, like you're bored. Um, you know, just making sure that you're looking at the person um, as they're speaking. So to review, um, we define networking, why is networking important, your image, and how to network. Thank you for attending my training on the power of networking. Should you have any questions or comments, you can reach me at michelle@scaredinc.org. Thank you. Hello, my name is Michelle O'Quinn. So I'm going to explain to you our activity that I have for us. It's called Make a Story Writing Journal. That's the name of this little book here. It's backwards on your end right now, but believe me, it'll be forward when you get it in your package. But this provides an opportunity for you to share stories with your children. So I would invite like you and grandparents to sit down and talk about some family stories that maybe you want to share with your child. And so with this writing journal, depending on their age, um, they can draw the pictures and then you can write the story, or the child can draw the pictures and write the story. And it's a great opportunity for the family to get together and to make this wonderful storybook. Also, parents, you can make this storybook with your child and maybe give it to the grandparents. Is look, we made a story about you, and give it as and gift it for Father's Day maybe, or some other holiday down the line. But it's a wonderful opportunity to collect a moment and to collect a story. And this activity is a memorable, I like to say, a positive memory for children. And they'll always remember, like, oh, remember we made that book together. So I invite you to make a story with your child. Um, and participate in helping them express themselves. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of our trainings.